Hi friends, good morning. My name is Achyut and I'm from Isaac. So today in this class, we will learn about the basic Python syntax rules that everyone need to follow while writing the code in Python. So these are the syntax rules we have to follow, that everyone should follow while writing the code. Then your code structure and the errors will be reduced. So let us get into the class. So essential Python syntax rules for success. So mastering the foundations of Python programming. And essential Python syntax rules, quotation marks for strings. So we know, right? Strings, what are strings? A group of characters combined called strings. So if you specify strings, you have to mention in the single quotes or the double quotes. Single quotes or the double quotes. See, always use quotation marks. Enclose things in single quote or double quotes to distinguish them from other code elements. So the next one is converting integers to floats in Python. So converting integer to floats in Python, like typecasting. So utilizing decimal points to transform integers into floats. It is utilizing decimal points to transform integers into floats. Insert decimal points. Add a decimal point dot to convert an integer to a float data type. Float data type. And next one is mastering Python function calls. So function calls. So if you don't know what is function calls, I will explain in the upcoming classes what are functions, what are function calls. So, but listen carefully what syntax rules while we have to follow while writing the functions. So understanding the importance of parenthesis. Understanding the importance of parenthesis. What is parenthesis? I will explain. For example, I will show you. Let's open Notepad. So this is called parenthesis. So this is called parenthesis. So this is called parenthesis. So understanding the importance of parenthesis in the Python functions are very important. First one, always use parenthesis. Ensure function calls are explicit and distinct from other code. Distinct from other code. And second one, enhance code readability. Improve code clarity and reduces ambiguity. So by using parentheses, it improves the code clarity and reduces ambiguity. And third point, avoid syntax errors. Avoid syntax error. Prevents common mistakes and ensure proper function invocation. So why parenthesis is important? We'll tell these 3 points. So how parentheses are very essential in the Python programming. These 3 points will tell how it is parenthesis is important in Python. And the next one. So 10 fundamental for Python syntax rules to master. So first one is indentation. So use consistent indentation to define code blocks. So use consistent indentation to define code blocks. What is indentation? We'll explain in the next video. So note down all these questions. You will get all the answers in the upcoming classes. So you have to use consistent indentation to define code blocks. Proper use of comments. Add concise comments to explain complex code sections. For examples, you have written the complex codes. So if you want to explain those codes, you have to write the comments. What is what? Like you have to explain why you have written this code. So meaningful variable names. Choose descriptive names. Choose descriptive names to enhance code readability and follow PEP guidelines. So adhere to Python enhancement proposal for code consistency. So I hope you understand the third point, meaningful variable names. You have to write the meaningful functions. So whatever the function is you are writing, that function name should be meaningful and everyone should understand. And follow PEP 8 guideline, other Python enhancement proposal for code consistency. We have to follow the Python enhancement proposals, PEP 8 guidelines. And fifth one, avoid magic numbers. Avoid magic numbers. Assign variables to replace hard-coded values. Assign variables to replace hard-coded values for better maintainability. And sixth one is consistent string coding. Use single or double quote consistently for single letters. As I told you earlier, for strings we have to use string and single quotes and double quotes. And don't misuse indentation. Incorrect indentation can lead to syntax errors. So what is syntax errors? Proper use of white spaces. Maintain clear spacing for improved code readability. So you have to use proper white spaces, which is very important and essential in Python. Avoid excessive line length. Prefer readable line lengths to prevent horizontal scrolling. So while writing the code, you should not write the excessive length. Then the code efficiency will be not reduced, will be reduced. So prefer readable line lengths to prevent horizontal scrolling. So if you write a long code, if you want to see the code, you have to scroll the horizontal scroll bar, right? So it's a time taking process. So if you write fewer length of code, then it should be helpful for you. And pay attention to case sensitivity. So Python is case sensitive and ensure consistency in variable names. So what is case sensitive? For example, file. So capital file and small f file has difference. A file, what is the spelling of file? F-I-L-E. So capital F-I-L-E file and small f-I-L-E file is different. So that is called case sensitive. So these are the case sensitive. These are the case sensitive. Next one is Python, essential Python syntax rules for beginners. So indentation is crucial. As I told you earlier, indentation is used. Python uses indentation to define code blocks instead of curly braces. So in Java, for example, if you know Java, we will use curly braces, right? So instead of curly braces, we use indentation. And second one, mind the columns. Mind the columns. Use columns after flow control statements, function definitions, and loops. So I hope you know about column. So this is column. This column. So choose, and next one is be mindful of white spaces. Consistent use of white spaces is key for readability and code execution. Choose descriptive variable names. I had earlier told about this. You have to choose meaningful and descriptive names for variable to enhance code clarity and readability. And comment your code. Add comments to explain complex sections for future references and collaboration. So, for example, you're working in a group team. So you have written the code, but your fellow teammates did not know why you have written this code. So what is the meaning of this code? So then you have to write the comments. Why this is what I had written. This is the meaning of the code. So if you execute this code, this action will be happen. You have to write in the comment so that your teammates also understand and the code, the overall project will be very good. So key Python syntax rule for effective coding. Understanding data types, variables, functions, and comments in Python. Value quotation marks. Use quotation marks for strings to define text data, parentheses for functions. Always include parentheses when defining functions. Importance of octothorphes. Utilize octothorphes for comments to document code. And next one. So essential Python syntax guidelines. So insights into Python syntax rules for effective coding. Manage code source efficiency, importance of organizing and structuring source code. Comment code clearly, enhance code readability by commenting effectively. Define identifiers clearly, establish meaningful and descriptive identifiers. Utilize keywords purposefully, understand and apply Python keywords appropriately. Follow coding standards, adhere to established coding conventions for consistency. Observe PEP guidelines, implement Python enhancement proposal for best practices. So all these things we have discussed in the earlier slides. So these are the essential Python syntax guidelines. So what are the things? Manage code source efficiently, comment code clearly, identifiers clearly, and utilize keywords purposefully, and coding standards. So you have to follow some coding standards. The next one is essential Python syntax rule for all users. In depth, look at Python calculations, comments, variables, assignments, data types, and inputs, naming conventions, and best practices. Understand the importance of clear naming for variables and functions. Data types overview, explore the different types in Python, including strings, list, floats, and booleans. So we have to understand the what is strings, list, floats, and booleans. User input methods. Learn various approaches to obtain user input in Python program. And the last slide is mastering the essential Python syntax, key rules for efficient programming. So these are the things you have to follow. Like these are the syntax rules. Yeah, these are the fundamental syntax rules that every Python programmer should follow these things and implement the Python coding. So that's it, friends. Thank you. And if you like this video, please like the video and please share it to your friends so that they can be benefit from this video. And please subscribe to my channel and please ring the bell icon. Then only you'll get the notification whenever I upload videos in YouTube, or otherwise you will not get the notification. Thank you, friends. Jai Hind.